Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast with your host, Chris. As always, I am that host. I am that guy. Welcome to episode number 201. Last week, obviously, we hit number 200, and I'm super excited about that. Before I get into more stuff and talk about the guest, as always, the show is brought to you by Comic Bento. Comic Bento is a monthly graphic novel subscription box, and you get a box of graphic novels, usually 4 to 5, every month. So if you would like, go to comicbento.com, sign up, and use the promo code CASTING2. That's casting the word and the number 2, and you'll get $5 off. So do that. And as always, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, it's both at Casting for Two. And this episode is this whole week, this whole month, this whole year, whatever, is all special just because I had the opportunity to attend RTX 2017 in Austin, Texas once again. And I had the opportunity to chat with the boys from Chow Chop. Wow. The boys from Cow Chop, Brett and Aleks. And I was very excited to chat with them because, you know, their channel, of course, is a wild and fun channel. But these guys, they're normal guys, people. At the end of the day, you know, they eat steak. They want to wear PJs, you know. So I was very excited to sit down with them and chat more with them. And it was a great time. But I don't have to tell you that, okay? You can just listen for yourself. So why don't I just stop talking and you start listening? Sound like a good plan? All right. So everybody sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please. Also, there's a new song because it's New Year. So enjoy. If you want. Yeah, it's all good. They're on. We're rolling.
Should I wear my sunglasses for this?
If you want, yeah. Look, I've told people, because it's all audio, you can wear PJs if you want. I don't give a shit.
Are we already going?
We're already going.
I'd like to be in my PJs. I'd like to
it.
take it back to PJs.
This is
Does that
great.
sound-
Hello.
How's your RTX going?
Good. Was there like
Good.
an intro for this? Did we already?
It
He does
happens.
his own intro.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
do
your
my own intro.
Oh, like I
because
sat down with Couch.
Right. Here's
okay.
I have a phobia of getting people's names wrong.
Okay.
So I do my own intros
That's
where I
nice.
listen to the name constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, boom.
Yeah.
So,
I've been there for sure.
No.
That's nice.
mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, it blindsides everybody that, yeah, we're recording. It's
Yeah.
going. It's happening.
It's
Right.
Like nice.
So,
It's not,
yeah.
They don't like tense up. They're like, here's the beginning.
Exactly.
And I just like. I mean, usually there's like a process and like
Yeah.
there's a camera and
This is
like,
very
I mean,
smooth.
this is just we're right into it.
Yeah.
Sat down. I just walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
and we're
We're
going.
going.
Yeah, as smooth as possible. And can I, like, CCTV's great.
Mm-hmm.
I have to compliment you. You guys have the best music.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I like the content. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the music is great.
That's
I love
a film school buddy of mine who's been making music on SoundCloud under the name Echo Pork. Shout out to him. But yeah,
Shout out.
He's got some good beats.
There we
Working
go.
on some new stuff for us for use on that podcast. So
Yeah, RTX has been pretty smooth to
Yeah.
answer your question. I mean,
yeah.
Hi, Bernie's
Hi, Bernie.
walking by. Hello. Yeah, it's actually, it feels more chaotic this year than last year. Like last year, I felt like I could get around more, but this year, I mean, it's cool that it's getting bigger, right? So they
Yeah.
said 60,000 people this year.
Yeah.
So, and maybe they'll look to expand,
Mhm.
like with another center at some point. So,
Yeah.
Well, and then last year was the first year of Cow Chop.
right. The
so-
inception of, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And so have, like, just from the panels that you guys done, is it just Has the support been? I mean, it's obviously there because you had the opportunity to move to California based on that. But how's the reception you've seen? How is it different last year to this year?
I mean, it's definitely different because we had been up for like 3 months, I guess, by the time RTX rolled around.
We launched on April 1st.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's kind of different.
Few
being
months.
More established and having
right.
more.
Well, because people didn't really know, I guess, that we were part of the brand and etc.
Yeah.
So now they kind of do, and like we have like a big ballroom like filled up with people to watch our stupid garbage. So
people doing cosplay, people doing memes. And
the
stuff.
cosplays
It's
are
like,
cool.
yeah.
People like portray some of the characters and stuff. Like like it makes sense for like the Rooster Teeth's like anime shows,
right?
But like us, just like a bit where someone wore specific clothing. Like we have a D&D show. Which, But we saw somebody that dressed as like one of our people in one of our videos,
right?
Which was
like New York
cool.
Trevor, like Trevor. Trevor escapes New York. It's
right.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Or is Boston, I guess.
Yeah, it was Boston, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Would it be weird
cool.
if somebody just cosplayed as you guys, just normally, like wearing the shirt? They got your combat boots from
they
nowhere.
do like their own version.
Yeah,
of like
the version of you.
we did on Amazon.
Yeah, well, because he's dressed as like me before. Like I bought him like my specific, because I like wear like sunglasses and stuff. I wear like specific stuff a lot.
Yeah.
So I just got him the same sort of like iconic clothing to like portray like that's obviously me.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it would be weird if someone's like, "Hey, I'm you," you know.
Hey, it's me, Alex.
Right. Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
streaming.
You're even doing the voice right. Too.
Yeah.
That's how people do
it would
the
be
voice.
weird, but you wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
It's a weird thing to do.
I guess,
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess it is weird, but it's not. I think people are starting to do weirder things every year.
Yeah.
So like, what was weird last year is like that's normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. This was like the signing had more weird stuff for sure.
Right.
So.
And as far as the content goes, you guys aren't afraid to do what you feel is real funny, depending on if it breaks something, destruction, anything like that, which is cool. But the older person in me freaks out because when you broke the door, I was like, oh my god,
you have anxiety from it.
Exactly, yeah. But it's cool. I just know I can never do that. Are there ever times when you're like, we absolutely cannot do that?
I feel like the answer to that is even when we feel like there's something that would be like kind of catastrophically damaging or permanently damaging, it's less like we can't do it and more like, okay, what are the circumstances where we could do this in a way that's still satisfying and doesn't feel like a cheaper version, right? So like if it's something that like, oh, I don't want to get evicted over, but like could we find a location where it's still as shocking, but like, we've got the clearance for that and stuff. So it's like this weird balance going from the house where like almost everything you could do in the house seems shocking. Like we've been talking about this a lot this weekend, right? Where it's like you're in a house and it's like, oh my God, you would never do that in a home. But now we're out in LA and it's like there are more options, but you have to try harder to have that same shock effect of like the house or whatever in some way. So but we haven't not been able to do an idea we've had. We've always found a way to do it so far.
Yeah, I guess the ideas just are more grander now. I guess like the only things I don't like to do is like the public stuff is cool where we go out and do like crazy, stupid, whatever stuff in public. I guess I have to be like in a certain like level of like cringe for me to like go through with it. Like if I dress up as a character or something and do something like in character, like I feel better than like if it was just me being a dickhead out and about, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if I'm the only one in on the joke and there's like a hidden camera or something, I always feel weird.
Right.
Versus like putting on display like just as a character. Like obviously people are like, we've had people come up to us and be like, "Oh, are you a performer? Like, are you performers? Like this is a theatrical thing."
Right.
And that to me is like more comfortable than like I'm just gonna be me being an idiot in like the sidewalk or whatever. I don't know. Like we talked about like going down to Hollywood and shooting stuff, and I'm like, I live there. Like if I'm just dressed like this, people will see me again walking around and be like, "That's the idiot that was doing stupid stuff outside our store." You know?
Right.
So it's like the only, I guess, barrier for me. But
yeah, no, that's true. You definitely have to be in a certain mind state to be like, okay,
right,
this is embarrassing for everyone involved. Here we go.
Right, but does it look good?
Yeah.
That's
is it funny?
Is it funny?
Because you can't no half measures on that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you opt out of it, you'll just ruin it. So it's like you have to be like, okay, I'm in fully here. So
have you ever had somebody opt out midway and it's like, come on, dude?
Yeah. I opt out.
Yeah,
for sure. I think everyone has collectively opted out.
You think so?
Yes, because the
What
thing.
have you opted out of?
I opted out of the smoke bomb thing just recently.
Okay. What have I opted out of?
What have you opted out of?
You have more opportunities, I think, because you're in more stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
I feel like your commitment level, Brett, is a lot higher though.
Well,
I don't
I'm
know
in
why.
less,
I
but
feel like you're more game.
I think the ideas that he brings to me, like typically it's like smoke, pepper spray.
Pepper spray.
My brain's shutting down, by the way.
That's
But like, it's like if you're gonna do it, do it.
Right.
And like, is it like you think you're gonna have as good of a video where you're like, oh, I got sprayed once, it was good enough. It's like if you're gonna get sprayed, you might as well be obliterated, by it, right? Like you might as well go all the way. Or like the door thing too, where it's like, again, a lot of the ideas that I've been involved with, it's kind of like they naturally lend themselves to like what seems like insanity, but it's like it would just be shitty if you only went a little way into it, waded into the water a little bit,
Yeah, you've already like cracked the box open. Just open it. Let's just do this. Yeah, no, I get it.
But you guys set a tone, I think, from the beginning where it was weird. Like again, like I always say, like my first trip out to visit the house, right? Like I mean, I've been a part of this since the beginning, but like I hadn't gone out to the house until that first like smoke bomb door breaking video trip, and it was like, what is the tone gonna be? And just in the middle of that video, by virtue of just like the vibe of that house and the feeling, like when I decided to kick that door in. And it was like me testing the waters too, of like, oh, we can do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like a weird, natural, organic kind of evolution where a lot of those ideas, it's not so much like Aleks being like, I'm going to go over the top, but like you feel it in the moment or the idea is crazy enough that then you're just like, yeah, okay, let's like, finish it. So
there you go. And so and then I'm going to go back to CCTV because a majority of it is you guys looking for places to shoot. Like you get kicked out halfway between.
Yeah.
What are the differences between filming there and filming in Colorado? Like, did you ever get kicked out of? Like, I feel like you got away with more places in Colorado.
You break this down. I like. He's mentioned this a few times.
Well, I feel like Colorado, there was, I don't know. It's like we definitely got kicked out of like the mall and stuff.
Right.
When we were like invading, so we'll get kicked out of those places. But I feel like we could find more spots as opposed to California that like where we probably wouldn't get kicked out of, primarily because people aren't used to like, if you're not like around cameras and the film industry and whatever, and like all of a sudden outside you look and there's people with cameras and chairs talking, like they're just gonna assume it's like a project or like the excuse we always used to use was like, oh, we're doing this for film,
right? Yeah,
like, we're in film school.
Yeah,
and people usually just leave us alone, right?
Yeah,
because it's like, oh, whatever, they're just kids being idiots.
Yeah.
But in Los Angeles, they don't mess around. If you have a camera, they don't care. Like if you're a student or if you're a high production company, like you need to have a reason to be there. If you don't, then get out or like deal with.
Pay me to be on my property.
Right.
Somebody who's really taking his job, like wheeling around in his Segway, like I patrol the back alleys of Chinatown. It's like, great, dude. Okay, all right, we'll go. I get it. It's like
He's the Batman of the back alleys in Chinatown.
Yeah, but they're all aware of what's going on around them because it probably happens all the time. So
I think you set the vibe with like having to pay people money to be on the property for some of the shoot. I guess one of the shoots at least.
Yeah.
So
for the junkyard, yeah. I mean,
okay, yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. And it was like a very like begrudging agreement of like, how much? Yeah, I'm gonna need at least this much. Okay, yeah, go over there if you want to. And then like we left. I don't think we even said. I was like looking for him. I couldn't even find him. So.
No, so I mean that was bizarre, obviously, but yeah.
It's
I guess that's the biggest change is that. Although to be fair though, now that we're in Los Angeles, we're like doing more outside stuff and trying to be more proactive. It just seems like people don't really care as much, which is the trade-off.
Right. It's kind of not the norm, but it's a little bit more common.
Right. Like when we took Trevor to the beach.
Right.
And like we were walking on the pier. We have like a camera that gets the action, and then we designate the other person to like get reactions. And like they weren't getting reactions.
Right.
Like, people saw like this dude dressed in winter clothes with like a full-on face sunscreen.
Right.
And the people that talked to us or said anything were people that were like, "You can't film here."
Right.
Like that was the most like public interaction we got.
How did he not get heat stroke doing that?
I'm pretty sure he definitely felt sick.
Like, did he lose some brain cells?
I think every shoot, Trevor loses some, or if not all of us lose some.
Because I feel like his
cells.
Commitment level has gone up too, where he'll commit to a bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, that one was definitely probably one of his. That and the Boston one where he's standing outside in snow. I was amazed he was doing that. It was freaking funny.
He's really blossomed in the year, definitely between like you watch his early appearances and like what he's taken on a lot more creatively and like trying to trying to shape things. The editing he's done on series, so he's got some mad genius up there. So.
His character's developed. We just peer pressured him into doing stupid things until he can like control himself, I guess.
Yeah, and learning like what his boundaries are, because his boundaries aren't always like the thing you think it would be. It's just like I think he hits cringe boundaries much sooner than he hits like physical boundaries. You know what I mean?
He just never like resists or anything. You know what I mean? Oh no, we get some people that walked in here.
Oh no,
from a different part of.
Some people from the bad part of town. We were talking about like L.A. It's like.
Do we got to wrap it?
You can talk a little bit while longer.
Does one of you want to hop on?
They're just gawkers right now. Sugar Pine 7 is kind of
they're staring at us.
They're just kind of gawking. I would describe it as open mouth gawking.
Just give me how many? 5 minutes? Okay, we got 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm really sorry about that, guys. You guys don't deserve that kind of treatment.
I know. I hate looking at them.
I feel
hate
bad.
Looking at
people have
Steven
to apologize for that group. It's like
I just hate those guys.
It's amazing, how tall he is, but how awkward he just is. He doesn't have control. Of the
very
wind.
feminine.
It's so weird.
Very feminine.
So weird.
Look at him. He almost just tripped trying to get a water bottle. It's just like I don't know.
Is that a cute girl or is
it's like a baby bird who does it like a baby. Excuse me.
Not everything's about you, Steven.
You think just because I'm looking at you, we're talking about you? He's shaking his head no. Thank you. I like your style.
Well,
but anyway, for the people at home who would like to follow you guys, want to watch your own, unpacking CS videos, where can we all do that? That's what got me hooked on you, just because I felt so bad for you.
Yeah, I guess I'm just like, as I said about us earlier, we're just glutton for punishments at this point. That's kind of what the channel is like. Let's fuck ourselves up today, we all get hurt. Like your toe's broken and that wasn't even part of a video, right? You broke your toe last night or some shit.
Did you really?
I don't think it's broken.
I stubbed it?
Jammed it real good. We were filming Joe's birthday stuff out there with those jokers. So.
Right, but
I don't care what anybody says. Toe injuries are the worst injuries. Yeah,
you can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
Really. You're like, cool, let me just walk on this.
Yeah.
Until my body decides it's over it. But yeah, no, I think it's interesting. It's interesting to us seeing like kind of like our own personal thresholds too. You know what I mean? And obviously there's like precedents for other people that I've watched and stuff where I'm like, okay, how do you push yourself to that level? How do you kind of figure? It's just a lot of times like again pepper spray. You're just like, no, let's just do this. I wonder what my actual threshold is for pepper spray, and then we find out, and it's a horrible time. But I'm not like I don't regret it. I don't think we've had a regrettable, knock on wood, situation other than being evicted. I mean, that sucked. But even that was just kind of like bumping a timeline up by a few months. So,
yeah.
God, I hope I didn't just jinx us. Let's not.
You're
just
good.
say a regret you have to unjinx us from shooting.
A regret I have, I should not have ate steak this morning, I guess.
What?
I don't know. But
I
Mortal HD is my Twitter handle. and what's yours again?
It's at Hungry Hunter.
It's at Hungry Hunter.
Than typing the other
Cow Chop or Cow Chop.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
go watch them.
Go watch
and eat steak in the morning all the time.
I don't really regret that.